Hello, uh, senior composition students. This is Miss Cone here. I am here to sort of take you through the critique paper assignment. Again, this paper is not due until Friday, September 25th at 2:30. But since we're watching the documentary you will be critiquing this week, I wanted to make sure to go over the paper assignment description so that you can keep that in mind when you are watching the film. So certainly one of my favorite documentaries. Very thought-provoking. DuVernay makes an interesting argument in her documentary. All right, so your job is to watch 13th, directed and written by Ava DuVernay. And you're going to, basically with a critique paper, your job is to evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of the author's argument and to show a deeper understanding of the author's argument in your paper. Okay. Think right side double entry notes for this paper. I mean, you're going to have to summarize DuVernay's arguments in 13th, and then you're going to assess the validity, essentially, of her arguments. So, if I were writing this paper, I would include a paragraph introduction, bring the reader into the idea of the topic of 13th. You want to write a summary paragraph where you highlight the writer's, in this case DuVernay's thesis, her main points. What are the main points she makes in 13th? And then you're going to write several paragraphs, I would say at least 3, where you talk about different claims. I would focus on 2 to 3 the writer makes and DuVernay makes, and evaluate how well she presents those claims. So think in terms of, is she accurate? Is she logical? Are there any underlying assumptions or biases? Is she forgetting anything? Are there logical fallacies? And so what was missing to strengthen the argument? And, certainly you can, this is not a paper where you agree or disagree with what DuVernay is saying. It is an assessment of the presentation of the piece, how well she does it, without saying it like that. You're breaking down her argument and showing a deeper understanding of it and assessing it. And then you're going to have a conclusion that provides sort of a final, so what can we make of all of this now that we've broken down her argument and assessed it for strengths and weaknesses. And you also have to include a works cited page where you cite DuVernay 13th, the actual documentary. That should probably be the only thing on your works cited page, because I'm not asking you to bring in outside sources for this paper. And again, you're not citing in text as well, because you're only using one piece in your writing, which is 13th, the documentary. I am going to next week give you a slideshow talk about critique writing to help you further organize the paper, although what I just talked about above lays it out pretty well. Again, some tips: go beyond generalization to find specific evidence from the documentary for support. Okay, and analyze a few examples rather than making the same point repeatedly about many pieces of evidence. Okay, so really zoom in on a couple different claims she makes, and then think about a couple examples that would illustrate your assessment of how well she does that. What am I grading you on? All right, criteria for evaluation. I want an introduction that brings the reader into the topic. Your claim that you're making is a claim about the validity and the strength of DuVernay's claim. So it's kind of a claim about a claim, really, a claim about DuVernay's claim and how well she does it. Conclusion summarizes the strengths and weaknesses of 13th and overall implications of the piece being examined. Looking for also grading for accuracy, emphasis, and objectivity. Okay, so for the summary, are you accurate about what DuVernay is claiming? Are you placing emphasis on the right details, and are you remaining objective in the summary part of the piece? Then I'm grading on ideas. Okay, do you show some depth and insight into your evaluation when you get into the critique part of the paper? Do you provide evidence and give an overall assessment of the validity of DuVernay's claims? Is your piece organized logically? Again, if you follow the guidelines up here, you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I would say 6 to 8 paragraphs. I'm looking at 2 to 3 pages tops. Okay. Is it, and do your ideas connect? Okay. And then again, grammar, style, and mechanics. Use your best grammar, punctuation, spelling, capitalization. MLA citations, meaning you have a works cited page citing 13th. All that needs to be present. No works cited page equals a 0. Each one of these categories will be 30 points. You can see the rubric translates that down there for a total of 150 points. You can't skip any of the papers in this class. Not a good idea. Okay. So again, you have to think of critique as an assessment of DuVernay's presentation of the argument and how well she does it. And you also have to not think of it like a movie review. This is something that's beyond movie review. How well you liked it and whether or not you agree does not come into play. Okay, we're evaluating the writing, in this case, more of the presentation of the piece. And so keep that in mind. This is beyond movie review. It's not a movie review. All right. Looking forward to working through this critique paper with you on one of my favorite documentaries. You all have a good day.